Hey y'all,
this is Dee.
And this is Shelby, and we're from Bitch Please.
Welcome back to another episode. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hopefully you all made it into the new year. We made it.
We made it.
We was kicking and screaming, but we made it.
Girl. Oh my God.
We made it.
It was wild.
It was wild.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
It's been a lot this week. Anyway.
Yeah.
How are your screws?
Today they're actually not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, finally for the first time in, I don't know, like a month and a half. Yeah. They've been pretty good today. I don't know what was going on, but the month of December felt like a total crash and burn. It felt like a total failure.
Yeah.
It felt like absolute chaos for me, especially mentally. I was going through a lot mentally, and I just couldn't get my shit together.
I feel you.
I couldn't get my shit together. So for today is like the first time in, I don't know, probably a month or something where I actually feel relatively normal.
Yeah.
So
welcome back.
yes, thank you. I'm happy to be back. Adult me is nice and present, and she's ready to do the thing for 2025. How are your screws?
My screws are not bad today.
Yeah.
I had a little moment earlier, but I was okay for the most part. As same with me as you.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't sound right.
No.
Same here.
Yeah.
In about what?
That's okay. Keep on.
It doesn't sound right. I too had a rough ass December.
Yes.
And I feel probably fairly decent today, which is like a first for a while, because not only have I been kind of destroyed mentally, but also physically. So it's just been kind of like, it's been a lot happening.
Yeah.
But I actually feel pretty damn good today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Small things, but pretty
small
good.
victories.
Yeah. Small victories for sure.
Love that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, we
right.
are happy to be here. We're happy to do 2025.
Yes.
Do we want to start off with some news?
Let's do some news.
Okay. We in the spirit of a new year, 2025, we are actually going to start putting out new content. So keep a lookout for a little mini-sode that we are calling. Can we say it? Okay. It's calling Bumping Gums.
Bumping Gums.
I hope you like put up Bumping Gums.
I'll put Bumping Gums.
Bumping
I actually
Gums.
put our little logo.
Yes.
With our little faces and the Bumping Gums.
Oh, can I do it?
Oh.
It happened.
I
Okay.
just dropped the thing.
Anywho's then. But yeah, so we have some new content that's going to be coming out. That's going to be released every Monday. So be ready for that. It's short, but I think you're going to find it interesting if you are nerds like us, and we are nerds. So it'll be a good time.
And it will be sorry. It'll be released on all the same platforms as this current podcast. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. So we're super excited to put that out. We are also going to have some other new content coming out in February. That is just going to be the adventures of Dee and Shell. So you are going to just kind of go around the world with us, or wherever the hell we're going, and we're going to take you along for the ride, and it'll be a good time. So you get to see what we actually do outside of just sitting on Sheila and bumping our gums.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we're getting up off of Sheila.
We are getting up off of Sheila, and y'all coming with us
for a little bit.
So just for a wee bit, but that's going to be coming out twice a month, and that's going to start in February. So just kind of keep an eye out for that as well. We'll put more stuff out as we continue on, but we're pretty excited.
Yeah, we're super excited. We also, I just want to, in good
spirits and good health.
In the spirit of the new year.
Ooh, wait, I want to get mine.
Okay.
Wait. Sorry, you might have to cut that out or leave it in.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Okay.
Shh. Stop.
Okay. Who said okay?
Siri.
Oh.
Okay.
In the spirit of the new year.
Yeah.
We have gotten planners.
We did.
And we have actually planned out a few of the months.
A few months.
For all of the podcasts.
Yeah.
All of the extra content. All of the things that we'll be doing and how it's going to be released. We have actually sat down, planned it out, topics, everything. And we're super excited about it because we are really trying to be more organized in 2025.
Yes.
So
we are really trying to do more with you guys, do more things for the pod, do more things and add new stuff to the channel. So we're really excited. Check out, look at how cute they are.
Yours are super cute.
Look how cute they are. I actually like yours better than mine now that I'm looking at it.
You know what's so funny? I actually like yours because mine has a lot of pink on it and I love green.
Yeah, I'm a green girly. So it's my favorite color. But yeah.
This is what we're doing for 2025. We're getting our shit together, guys.
We have our shit together.
We are going to have focused it's not gonna be focused because this is just not how we operate.
That's
but
not
we
how
got
we do.
we got plans. We got plans.
We got
So
plans.
we're
very excited. We
Yes.
do have some merch that's probably going to come out at some point this year.
Yes.
We have shirts that are already made.
Yes.
So that's what we should have worn today.
Oh, we should have worn those.
Wear our shirts.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it.
We do have
We'll
some
do it for
merch that's made.
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll do it for bump. No, we won't do it for bump. We'll do it for the next episode.
Okay. Well, we're super excited to introduce all of these things to you guys. But moving on to our next segment.
Yeah.
It's tea time, bitch. I was like, are we doing it?
I was like, we're just gonna be like,
Sarity shirt? Yeah. It is tea time, bitches.
yeah.
So we are here to just kind of give you a little bit of gossip.
Yeah, we're gonna give some tea.
Gonna give
And you
some
know
tea.
this is Shelby's favorite tea.
You know, this is my favorite tea because we're going to talk about Gypsy Rose. And she just
Gypsy
had a whole baby. Was it a girl
Rose.
or a boy?
I think she had a little girl.
I think she had a little girl. Because
Congrats,
immediate,
Gypsy Rose.
right? Immediate
Blanchard.
facts.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Yeah, because that's her boyfriend right now. I don't think she got
Rose.
married yet.
Yeah, Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Whoop, whoop.
So super excited for her and her new little baby girl.
Yes.
You know what's wild
it's a
though?
little girl.
You know what's wild though? I think so too, because my thought process was I really hope she doesn't do the same thing to her daughter that her mother did.
I would hope not.
I would hope not.
I would hope not. I would hope that she, remembers how shitty that experience was.
Not just that, but it
and
got some
she's-
help.
Well,
help.
yeah. Well, yeah. And would not want to do that to
Facts.
her child. So
Facts.
kudos to her. Good luck on on your baby and your recovery and all
Yeah.
that good stuff.
But also, not gonna lie, a little mad that she's not coochie out.
I
she
know,
hasn't done that.
Gypsy. Congrats on the baby, but when are you gonna be outside?
When are you gonna be outside, girl? I mean, she been outside clearly because she got herself a new boo.
You did.
She got
you did your
herself
thing,
a
girl.
new boo.
Yeah, she was like, you know what?
She's like, I've
free.
done wasted my life.
I'm gonna go out here.
You can go.
Yeah, you can go.
You can go. You can come. You can
You
go.
can go. Right. Next.
Goodbye.
Number 52.
Number 52. You're
Now
up.
servicing.
Now servicing. No, maybe I'm just kidding. Cut that out.
I will. I
Get it
will.
out.
But yeah, I think it's really cool, and I'm happy for her.
Yes. Yeah.
And now I'm curious, like, when are her and her man gonna get married? If they're gonna get married?
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
'Cause I actually thought they were already married until I saw the story, and I was like, oh, it's his boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. She ain't ready to be tied down.
I don't blame her.
I don't blame you, girl.
Girl.
Keep them options open, girl.
Keep them options open.
Because
Live your
even
life.
if you got a boyfriend, you single girl until that ring is on your finger.
Don't let your boyfriend keep you from finding.
Don't
your
let your
husband.
boyfriend from keep you from finding your husband.
Don't do it.
That's damn right. That's facts. You ain't got no tea?
I don't have any tea.
Oh, okay.
I forgot to look up tea.
That's okay. I got enough tea.
This first episode back is a little bit more serious because we did notice that over the last couple of episodes from last year, they were more just kind of they were just
Especially towards the end.
Yeah,
We didn't
towards the
have
end.
main topics.
No.
But this was something that we definitely wanted to revisit.
Yeah. So we are actually going to be talking about something that was really important, something that we actually talked to Vita, or one of our guests from a previous episode about, which is menopause. We are going into menopause. We're talking about not just menopause, but perimenopause and just the different things in which it exists.
Yes.
And why it exists and
Yes.
how it exists. Not really how, but that it exists.
Yeah.
So that's what we will be discussing today.
Yeah.
If this is not something that you're into, then, that's fine as well. We'll have other episodes pertaining to other information, but this one is going to be about that.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
Let's do it.
All right. So we're going to go with what menopause is and where it comes from. So we're actually going to do perimenopause, which is kind of the bigger part of what most people are going through when they go through menopause. So perimenopause, it is the time where the body is naturally transitioned to not being fertile anymore, which in a sense is just it's the end of your reproductive years.
Yes.
So that's what the perimenopause is. It's that transition into that period where you no longer have a cycle, you no longer ovulate, you no longer have any of those things. Your estrogen levels drop pretty significantly. Actually, to pretty much nothing, and it throws off the hormones a lot. It's a lot of shit that happens when you go through that whole phase, but
Yeah.
That's what it is, and it is known as a menopausal transition. So it can occur at different time periods for different women. Typically it is around the 40s, and it kind of goes it goes from there. It can be earlier, it can be later. It just really depends on your body, what you've had done. There's different factors that would cause you to go into menopause a little bit earlier or perimenopause earlier than normal. It really just depends on what's happening with you. If there's surgeries, if there's medications, if there's treatments, whatever, that could cause it to be a little bit earlier. Perimenopause can last between 2 to 8 years, which is shit, but it is a thing. It is a thing that does occur.
Yes, it does.
The actual menopause part is when you no longer have a period for a whole year consecutively. That's when menopause actually like hits. So the whole time prior up to menopause, you're in perimenopause the whole time. And then when you actually hit menopause is when you don't have your cycle, and then you're postmenopause.
Yeah.
The next day, apparently.
Basically.
Pretty much you're the next day. The thing that was interesting about menopause, and this is just kind of some general info that I had found out, it was actually first known, the first like known use of it in English was in the 1820s. And so I kind of like, I'm assuming like prior to that, you were just burned at the stake for being a witch.
Basically.
Because they didn't know.
They didn't understand.
Super side note.
Yeah.
I saw something I posted a long time ago about like the first woman to have squirted was probably burned as a witch. And I was like, I posted like, wait, no, it was a compliment. Like,
yeah.
But could you imagine?
No, 100%.
Like you're going, like you don't have a cycle anymore and you can't have kids and they're like, she's a witch.
Yeah.
Burn her.
No, absolutely. Well, anybody could have just been a witch.
I mean, honestly, yeah.
But yeah.
But isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Because our bodies were doing things naturally and they just didn't understand what our bodies did.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
It is crazy. I said etymology, right? I was going to do etymology next. Okay. So the word menopause, actually, I thought it came from something very different than what it actually came from, which I'm glad that it didn't come from what I thought it came from. And I love
etymology, so I'm excited for this.
So the term menopause, or men, in the Greek term for it is months. The MEN stands for months. And the pause, or the pauses, it's the cessation, which is the end of your period, much.
The end of the cycle.
And the end of your cycle. So it literally translates to end of monthly cycles.
Yeah.
So that's where the term came from.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely thought it was going to be like some men
something
thing,
so
you know?
I did too. I honestly would have bet money that it was like a man thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely would have bet money.
But love that. Love the Greeks.
Yeah.
Thanks, y'all.
You
did great.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so my section is just the timeline, which Deidre covered a lot.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was part of the general information. Oh, you say timeline. You meant the time period.
Yeah.
I did not realize
That's okay, girl.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay, girl. I have a few more stuff, but she covered quite a bit of it. Yeah, so I mean, perimenopause usually occurs about, and it can last between, I think she said 2 to 8 years, but some people have had up to 10 years, and then that usually occurs about 10 years prior to when you're actually going to hit menopause, and the average age, I believe, of menopause in the U.S. is 52, but you can also have menopause early. So there's been quite a few studies on, not studies, but quite a few women who have had, or I want to say, there have been a few women, about 1% of the American female population will get menopause in their mid-30s. So they tend to go through perimenopause early, as early as the age of 25, and they can go ahead and get menopause. They can be in menopause by the time they're 30. So early onset is about mid-30. Again, it lasts probably about 2 to 8 years. But that's just perimenopause. So the menopause, like Deidre already said, it goes through about 12 consecutive months. Yeah, so menopause usually occurs anywhere between the ages of 45 and 55. If you can't see, I have notes because I'm old and I can't remember things. So we're going to keep reading some notes. But yeah, some of the factors that can affect like menopause is like age in women, weight, smoking, things like that. But yeah, you're going to start looking at menopause usually around about 52. And that's when you start not having all of the signs and symptoms. So after that, it's actually sort of smooth sailing. As long as you have 12 consecutive months without a period, you're pretty good to go after that. Nothing really.
Now, if you have 11 months and 31 or 30 days, and that 31 day was going to be your 12 months, and you have a cycle, then you pretty much starting that cycle all over again.
Basically.
Because there has been
basically.
times where you have women that are going through the perimenopause process and they've almost not had a cycle for an entire year, and they get around maybe some other women and it causes their ovaries to like do some shit, and now they have their cycle again, and now they're starting that process all over again.
Yeah. So actually, it was super funny because like when I was on one of the websites that I used, so just to kind of cite some sources, I used PBS, I used Wikipedia, I used PubMed, and I used Mayo Clinic. So those are the sources that I use to get some of my information, as well as like some studies and stuff, which we're going to talk about later on. But one of the things that was said specifically was menopause is the time in a woman's life when her periods stop. So her periods stop. It's considered to have occurred after 12 months of 12 consecutive months without menstruation, which to me was so weird, like the way they worded it. So you have to have 12 consecutive months without menstruation, then you hit menopause. Then you're in menopause, and then you don't have any periods. Your periods stop, but your periods also have to stop for 12 consecutive months. It's very strange and very weird. I'm pretty sure a man made it up and was like, we're just going to make this really fucking complicated.
So if it's not already difficult enough.
Facts. And this is just obviously speculation here. I don't know if a man made it, but I feel like it's so annoying it's a man made it. So yeah. That I thought was super weird.
Yeah, that is really strange. And I'm kind of with you on that, because you think about it, like we couldn't go to school or nothing like that for a long time.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah.
Who was the doctors?
Who was the doctors?
Who was creating all these journals and
research? I have that. I have some of that.
I can't wait to hear it.
I have some of that.
I can't wait to hear about it.
I have some of that. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, I am too. Ooh,
yeah.
That's going to be great.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thanks. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's all I have.
Okay. So some of the symptoms which we've already kind of mentioned was the fact that you don't have a consecutive period for 12 months. But some of the other types of symptoms that you may experience when you're going through perimenopause and menopause, really perimenopause, because menopause is really, once you hit that point, you're pretty much done.
Yeah, actually, perimenopause is where you usually have all you have.
Yeah.
You have your symptoms.
So you have like hot flashes, you have sleep issues, vaginal dryness, flaking, brain fog, irregular periods. If you're still having your periods, you're having mood changes, you're having obviously decreases in fertility. You might be having some decreases in your sexual function. You might be, and most of the time you are having some bone loss. So it's like super important when you're going through these things to make sure you're getting your extra vitamins.
Yes.
There's different things that you can use to help with your hot flashes. There may be things to help with your brain fog. There's different things that you can do to kind of help balance yourself out so that you don't feel like a freaking psychotic person.
Yeah.
So
yes,
there's some different tips, tricks, and shit to help you get through the process, because the process is wild.
Yeah.
And the process is different for everybody. Some people don't have any symptoms at all. They just maybe have like an irregular period, and then they're like, then that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, some people don't have any symptoms. And it also all depends upon like if you have any medical conditions, or if your weight, your age, what you eat, like normally. Things like that can also affect how you go through perimenopause and when you actually start perimenopause and when you start menopause. So there's all sorts of different like stuff that comes with that when it comes, and everybody goes through menopause differently. Every single woman goes through it differently. There's such a combination of it. It's kind of crazy when I was reading about it. Like everybody just goes through it differently and nobody talks about it.
Yeah, which is so strange, because it's funny that nobody really talks about menopause, but it's something that we all will experience at some point in our lives. And it's strange because people talk about periods,
yeah,
and those cycles, that part of it, but something about aging,
yeah,
it's like we just don't discuss it because it's aging.
Yeah. And
so kind of to piggyback off of that, some of the places that I got my information from was Mayo Clinic as well, but I also got some information from the National Institute of Aging, and the menopause section, this big.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
And I will tell you why.
Please.
Oh, are you done?
I'm done.
Okay, so I will tell you why. So actually, this is probably was my favorite part, because I just love history in general, so I like learning about shit like this. But early observations of menopause that have been recorded were in the 19th century.
Oh, Lord.
19th century. And this was done by a French physician's first clinically noted the connection between hot flashes and the cessation of menstruation, identifying the ovaries as the source of these changes. That was in the 19th century, right? We don't have any major studies or follow-up studies until the early 20th century. Yes. The early 20th century.
Wait. You said the 19th century was when they first started doing research, and we didn't have any additional until the 20th?
And that was that was French physicians' first clinically. Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, there were people who were doing, studies, but they weren't actually like anything that had substance enough to be able to help. And even the studies that I've read, even today's studies that I've read, absolutely, there are minimal studies that talk about what medication is helpful, what, how it functions, how it is. I think we'll get to that. Now I'm just getting really excited. Okay, so early 20th centuries, scientists isolated the estrogen from ovaries through experimentation and all of that, and they were able to isolate that, which paved the way for the development of estrogen therapy for treatment for menopause, which is HRT. HRT is basically, it's called Premarin. That was the first thing that was used to help with menopause. That was the first thing that was used. That was 1940s. That was the 1940s. That was the 1940s.
Not to cut you off. That is so wild because women have existed prior to the 1940s. So women have just been like,
I mean, think about it. 19th century. I mean, I don't think a pad was created until...
Oh, that's true.
The 1920s, 1930s. So women were just walking around with fucking cloth in their panties.
That's true. Or like lamb or sheep skin or
lamb or sheep skin or lamb or sheep wool or some shit like that. Something like that.
Something crazy.
So it wasn't like anything that was actually there.
Could you imagine how irritated your coochie would be?
I just think
back then, because you can't clean everything super well.
Because the thing is back then they didn't shave.
Oh, true.
So back then, like, that hair was a huge protective barrier for your microbiome.
True.
So it was kind of crazy because, like, it's, of course, yeah, it was irritated. They had lice. They had all sorts of stuff going on down there, but they were actually, like...
doing okay.
Yeah, it wasn't actually that bad. I mean, syphilis was pretty fucking bad during that time.
Man, it was running rampant. Everybody had syphilis.
Facts. So that was 1942 was when Premarin's introduction occurred. So that was in 1942. That was the first thing. Hold, please.
Oh, there's more.
There's so much more. So pharmaceutical company Wyeth introduced Premarin, a widely used estrogen therapy derived from pregnant mare urine.
Interesting.
Yes. So pregnant mare urine is what they use. My mom actually used this. It was a cream, and they got the progesterone from the pregnant mare urine. I mean, that's where it came from, and it helped her a lot. I think, I don't really know, but yeah. So that's what was being used, right? Women's Health Initiative, WHI. In the 1990s.
Oh my God.
So think about this, right?
So from 1940s
1942
to 1990s.
To 1990s, it was all Premarin. Yeah. Obviously, I mean, they used other stuff. They try to use some antidepressant stuff. They've tried to use other things. But the primary thing the main medication that was used for menopause and to help treat menopause was Premarin. Now, the WHI in the 1990s, there was a large-scale study done by them, and they launched by the National Institutes of Health, investigated the effects of HRT. HRT is human... human hormone replacement therapy. I have it. Okay. It's on my paper. I just had to find it. HRT is hormone replacement therapy, which is the Premarin, which is what people are using, which is what mainly women were using. Investigated that the effects of HRT on postmenopausal women, revealing potential risks associated with combined hormone therapy, leading to a decline in its use. So from 1942 until the 1990s, we were using a medication that was potentially causing us risk and harm.
I mean, it's messed up. It is messed up.
But that is the only thing.
Yeah, it's messed up. But a lot of medications do that.
They do, but not for that long.
Not for that long because somebody tries to figure it out before then.
Yeah, not for that long.
And
because if you think about it, like when the AIDS epidemic was occurring, AZT was huge.
Right.
but that was huge for maybe
Oh, yeah, you're right.
maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
Maybe 10 years.
Yeah, you're right.
And then it was moved on to something else and
Yeah.
something else and something better and so on and so forth.
They just never did that with this.
They never did that with this.
That's really sad.
Yeah.
But also not surprising.
Not surprising at all. Not surprising at all.
Because it only affects one group of people.
It only affects one group of people.
And that group of people is not liked very much here in this country.
It keeps on keeping on. So Study of Women's Health Across the Nation, or SWAN, in 1994, this study aimed to understand the diverse experience of women across different racial and ethnic backgrounds during the menopausal transition. So you're talking about from the first time in the 19th century all the way up until 1994, which was 30 years ago, the 1800s or 19th century, all the way up until 1994 is when people started looking at it from different perspectives of women weren't all just one collective.
They never understood that.
Yeah, no, they didn't until they started the study. Swan started the study in 1994. And then the earliest ones that were like some of the bigger trials was in the early 2000s. Yes. So you're talking about jumping from 1994 to early 2000s, which give or take is about 6 to 10 years, right? These studies focus on finding effective treatments for menopause symptoms like hot flashes, exploring the potential of antidepressants and exercise, and investigating the impact menopause has on the brain. Now, the most earliest, as of 2024, the most earliest studies that we have for menopause are how menopause affect brain health, which is, again, the studies, the 2000 studies is called Miss Flash and Miss Brain, MS Flash, MS Brain.
Yeah.
That's when they start like kind of seeing how menopause affects the brain. But the most recent studies, like the main recent studies, aren't necessarily new pharmaceuticals or things to help, but how menopause affects the body. So nobody is actually out from what I've seen. And again, I've explored on PubMed. I've explored on WebMD. I have, I watched a couple of doctors' lectures on this stuff, and it's just, there's no new stuff that's being really introduced to help women with menopause, because what has been explained is that because hormones are so all over the place and every woman's hormones are different, they cannot get a study done.
The thing too that I noticed that they don't try to get too much into is the hormones, because hormones have affected so much, but I don't think they still understand how much and what hormones affect.
Yeah.
Like they just don't have that information.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're also not looking into it.
Well, I mean, I just think back about my anatomy class and my physiology class, like just in college, and the amount that I learned about hormones and the pituitary gland and which side of the gland, produces what does, the whole endocrine system, and just learning about a lot of that. And I feel like just that basic knowledge that I learned from that, we should be able to find something to be able to help us with menopause.
You have to, I mean, we should absolutely be able to find that, but you also have to have people who give a care enough about it to explore it. And I don't think with everything that's going on in the grand scheme of life, I don't think there's anybody like that invested on finding it.
Yeah.
I just don't.
I don't think so either.
Which is really unfortunate, because it's a thing that every woman is going to go through in their life.
Exactly. And the thing is like women, we can't keep this hush hush anymore.
We can't. We need to talk about it.
We have to talk about it.
Marches,
we need to have, we do. There's plenty of forums out there. But the thing is like, it's a lot of what women use today are holistic.
That's exactly what I was going to say. There's a lot of people that are going to holistic shops to get that information, or trying to get their own types of treatment, and everything is like a herbal type of treatment, or oil base or something like that. All of the places and recommendations for places to go to get different types of medications and things are not, like they're not like actual medications. They're just natural remedies that help you get by.
It's very Eastern medicine.
It is very Eastern medicine.
It's very Eastern medicine. I am too. I mean, there's acupuncture was one that I read was super helpful.
It's I had a list of the thing and I can't remember the name of it now. So there's a black castor oil that people use, something with magnesium flakes, has helped people. There's like this thing called, it's something to do with, it helps with hot flashes. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
Ashkosh or Kohash or something like that. That helps with with those things. But they actually have like shops in different, like in Vegas, they actually have a shop that you can go to.
Yeah.
That is just, I mean, it's not specifically for menopause, but it is a natural shop to help with just your natural needs.
Honestly, what I've read a lot about is women have had the most success with dietary. So like, and eating certain fruits and certain vegetables and getting a good amount of protein and good amount of water and all of that. Not smoking, not drinking. I mean, a lot of these things that we put in our body is poison. I mean, I smoked for a very long time. I drank and I did drugs. So I really know. A lot of the stuff we put in our body is very much poison. And it's a lot of like monitoring that and monitoring your sleeping if you can get good sleep. And, you know, a lot of that is definitely, it helps to alleviate if you're not doing those things. But I mean, it's crazy that we actually don't. And I mean, I was looking, like I was reading through 2023, 2022, 2024 PubMed research. And these research articles were
tiny.
And this was how menopause affects the body, not what can be used to help, which I know we have to kind of know what it affects before we can
treat it. Yeah.
But it's still like, you know, what do we do about the brain fog? Where is that coming from? Like, we don't have a lot of information on that because there's not a lot of studies done, because people don't like studying on women because we're too complicated, because we're supreme beings. So
the thing I think that is cool though, for a lot of the holistic remedies that are being kind of mentioned out there, people are kind of going off of symptoms, because you're right, there's not enough information on how it affects the body, but people are trying to address symptoms, which is so funny because that's what medicine does to begin with.
Yeah.
So it's like, so you can operate off symptoms for this, but you can't operate off symptoms for that. Okay, cool. But whatever. So you have a lot of people are operating off of symptoms for like, so for brain fog, people are using, I can't think of the name of it, which is so funny because I have brain fog right now, but I can't think of the name of it, but it is specifically to help with brain function and strengthening and all that. I mean, obviously
fish oil is actually really good for that.
Fish oil is really good. The one that I'm trying to think of, it's a longer name and I cannot,
there's the goji berry. Goji berries are really good for that.
I gotta look this up because it's gonna bother me if I don't.
Okay.
Oh, ginkgo biloba.
Yeah.
Ginkgo biloba. People are using that to help with brain fog, but they're also using just different things. So anyway, I said all this to say that people are treating the symptoms. And even though it may not be the overall process of it or the overall tackling the problem, it is tackling the symptom.
Yeah.
And that's kind of all you can operate off for the time being, because that's all with the information that we have.
Absolutely. The thing I don't like about some of these like vitamins and minerals and stuff like that you can just purchase, they're not FDA approved.
They're not.
So you don't know what you're getting. So make sure you do research on wherever you're purchasing them from.
Yeah.
I do hear that ginkgo biloba is actually really great. My sister takes it for her ADHD and her own brain fog that I think she's actually currently going through, because she's about to be in her 40s. So, so it's, you know, it helps a lot. And there's a lot of stuff that you can do. There's teas that you can drink. There's, again, a lot of holistic things that you can do. You know, I hear yoga's really good for it, for, I don't know, some chakra shit. I don't know. But there's things that are out there that you can do, because unfortunately we just don't have enough study and research on it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If you like know somebody that has been super invested in like looking up menopause, or you know somebody that's working on a study, please send us that information. We would love to know about it. We would also like to get it out to people who are also looking for this information.
Yeah, or whoever wants to come on.
Yeah.
You know, if you know somebody, or if you know a professional who has a lot of research on it, cool. Send them our way, because we just want to really get this out for other women.
We do, because it's going to be coming quicker than expected, and we just want to make sure that like people are prepared, and because it is something that should be talked about more.
It really should.
There's so much that happens to your body that you may not understand, and yes, I know there's forums and such, but like it would be nice to just be able to, you know, the same way that we can get all these tutorials for hair videos and you know, get ready with me's, like let's do a get ready with me. I got menopause. I'm going through perimenopause. This is what I do to pass by the time.
Facts. But you know what's kind of wild is like TikTok actually has a whole section on menopause. Like,
does it?
There's a bunch of people that are going on there, and a lot of women who are talking about menopause now and what their own personal experience is.
I like that.
Because it'll help, and like what they did to help with like the hot flashes and the, you know, the night sweats and the chills and the body aches and the brain fogs and the hair loss, and the low libido. I mean, the low libido is huge. You know what's so funny? I was doom scrolling through Instagram, and I just happened to come through this reel, right? And a guy was talking, and he's like, just want to let you guys know, just a public service announcement, that mainly divorces occur in your 40s because women start going through hormonal changes and blah, blah, blah. And I loved this woman's response, because she responded and was like, oh, you think it's just hormones that are the reason why we're leaving you? You fucking idiot. Like, no, we're leaving you because you're trash and you're not doing it for us, and you're a man child, and I'm tired of it. I've been doing it for years and I'm over it. The low libido just helped me get there sooner. And I was just like, yes.
Something, though, to help with low libido, which I didn't realize it was a thing, but like sea moss gel works really well for that.
Yeah.
Uncomfortably so. Also, maca root helps with that as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's all sorts of like natural remedies that you can do to help with that. Again, like what we put into our bodies it's crucial to how our bodies are going to operate.
Absolutely.
So if I'm putting shit into my body, I'm going to feel like shit. Mentally, I'm not going to be doing well. I'm going to, it's just all about what you're actually putting into your body.
Absolutely.
So I'm doing my best to try to eat better. That's
Same.
Another thing I'm doing for 2025. Eating better.
Not only are we eating better, but we're also going to the gym more often, because we got a new gym membership, and we have been going pretty consistently up until recently, because shit really hit the fan.
We're about to be out here.
We're going to be out here. We're going to be naked all the time on this episode, on these podcasts.
Listen, I just want to be naked all the
crop
time.
Crop tops, titties out.
Thighs out. My titties and thighs are always out.
We're not going to be doing that on this podcast. Don't ever think you're about to see that, because it's not going to happen.
I mean, if I get my waist snatched, it might. I might be on here like, hello.
We in here in the bikinis like, hey guys, welcome to Bitch Please.
Welcome to Bitch Please. Listen, honestly though, I'm like going into this whole gym thing with a different mindset.
Yeah.
I'm not going in with the mindset of how I was before, where it was like, you have to lose weight, you have to lose weight, you have to go so you can be skinny, otherwise you're not gonna like whatever. Because I'm actually pretty comfortable with my rolls. Like I like looking like a fucking busted open can of biscuits when I'm folded in half. Love it. Honestly, not mad. But I just want to be healthy. I don't want to get older, and I don't want my joints to hurt. Wait, was it the can of biscuits line? Welcome to 2025, baby, where I'm feral and don't give a fuck even more.
Ditto. Ditto.
Looking like a busted can of biscuits.
But yeah, no, I mean, honestly, going to the gym is definitely, my thought process on it is a little bit different, because I like the extra weight that I have. I just want to tone certain areas, but I want to keep it in other areas, because I really like what it did.
Yeah.
But I also could lose like certain parts of it. But I really like enjoy how my body's kind of like filled out a little bit more.
Yeah.
I just need her to be a little bit more snatched.
Yeah.
A little bit more toned.
Honestly, that's the reason why I'm lifting heavy weights. Because I'm like, I'm not interested in having certain areas be smaller. I like the little squishy thickness that I have. I like my little tummy. Patty is here. She brought her homegirls in this time. So Patty's out here with her homegirls, and I'm not mad.
I'm not mad about it. You know how much fun it is to just eat and
chill
and just to gain the weight. It's a great time.
It was such a great blast. Last year was a blast, and that is the reason why I am at the weight that I'm at.
Same.
It's happy fat
on a couple of other things, but mostly food.
Mostly happy fat. Yeah. Late nights sitting in Culver's parking lot talking for 3 hours. Yeah.
And eating food. So,
yes.
But yeah, I think to kind of like circle back. I think it would be really cool to get some more information in regards to menopause. I'm glad to hear that people are on TikTok talking about their journeys and talking about their experiences.
I think also that would help because it happens to Black women early.
It does happen to Black women early. It's so weird though, because you think about like if you talk to, like I talked to my mom, or I've talked to like my aunt and things like that to see like how their experiences were, and my mom's like, yeah, it was just, I had hot flashes and things like that, but I mean, it was fine. And I'm like, okay, but like what else? What else? And it's kind of hard to get that information, which is, I don't know why.
Yeah. I don't know. So
I know it was kind of mentioned was it last episode?
I think so.
Okay. That I was having a rough time, a little bit of a go of it. And I had a medical procedure, and it has kind of like jump started me into perimenopause. And so I am experiencing hot flashes. I am experiencing brain fog, crazy brain fog. What was the word I was trying to say earlier? Scalp.
Scalp.
I was trying to say scalp.
Yeah.
Couldn't figure out the word.
Scalp.
I'm just tapping. I'm trying to remember. I couldn't remember scalp. I am having hair loss, which has been its own journey in itself. I am not typically one that has cared about hair. I've always had a lot of hair, and I used to never have it out. I always used to keep it wrapped up or under weave or whatever. And now that I have my locks and things like that, I've enjoyed my time with my hair. I love the fullness of it. But I'm having a little bit of hair loss, and it has been stressful. And I think the only reason it is probably more stressful than if my hair was loose is because I have locks.
Yeah.
If my hair was loose, I don't think I would be as upset about it. I'm just a little concerned because if for some reason the hair doesn't grow back, like I may have to cut it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking though the shave side would be super cute.
It would be super cute.
So if it gets real crazy, I'm gonna just shave one side and we'll just see what happens. But yeah, I'm experiencing some of those things right now, and it has been. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Like I honestly feel like an idiot. There's so many times I'll be talking to Shelby or just really anybody, but mostly Shelby, and just be like, do I sound dumb? Like, did this even make sense? Like, because I feel like anything I've ever known in my entire life is gone. Mm-hmm. And it is the strangest feeling because I don't know like why it's like I know why it's happening, but it's a weird thing to like feel like you know nothing. Mm-hmm. And it's just a very strange place to be in. And so getting this information out is, it would be nice because I'm in my mid 30s, and technically I wouldn't really hit menopause until maybe another 6-7 years from now, maybe.
Yeah.
So the fact that it is occurring now it's a little odd, and it is a little early, but because I had a procedure, it makes sense as to why it is kickstarted a little bit sooner than not.
Yeah.
The thing that I will say is I had looked forward to this time in my life because when I was younger, like in my 20s, it was mentioned that menopause may help me keep my HS under control. So far, that is proving to be straight bullshit.
Well, you're not in menopause yet.
I guess that's true. You're
in perimenopause.
That's true. Because
your hormones are all over the place.
Yeah, I guess when I'm in menopause, I guess it may actually help. But right now, this perimenopause bullshit.
Mm-hmm. It has been a time. Deidre's been going through it.
The emotions have been insane.
Yeah. They
have been insane. I don't think I've cried this much in the last maybe 2 years as I have in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It has been insane.
Yeah.
So I say all that to say it is something that people experience. It is something that I feel like I'm currently going through right now. I have some visits coming up to see, what's going on. I've gotten different remedies to help with hot flashes, different remedies to help with the brain fog, just kind of everything in general, just to kind of help get this process, settle in a little bit better. Because if I am experiencing perimenopausal in the way that I think I'm experiencing perimenopause, this could be a good chunk of time.
Yeah.
And I need to have some type of balance because if not, I'm going to lose my shit on everything and everybody.
Yes.
So.
And we don't want that.
We don't want that.
No.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're sharing that.
Yeah.
I think she should go on TikTok.
Yeah, I think I may talk about it on TikTok just because of, age and.
Yeah.
I
think you should.
Yeah.
Go talk about it.
Talk about it and see
how you feel.
Get people out there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
So, yeah, but do you have anything else?
No, I don't.
Okay.
That was it.
All right.
That was it on menopause. I feel like we did pretty good.
I think we did good. Hopefully that gave some people some information. Again, if you know anybody that has more information about menopause, somebody that's had some crazy experiences or some great experiences or some remedies or whatever it may be, and you would like to share that with us, please do.
Yeah.
We want to get as much information as we can out there, but we ourselves want to be informed.
Yeah, we'll do a whole segment specifically on shit that can help with menopause.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, we should, and I'll bring all the little things that I'm collecting.
All right.
And I'll just be like, I'll do the
new
YouTube
segment.
The YouTube. You see my squishy? I'm gonna do the YouTube segment. The YouTube.
That's
thing.
Princess Squishy.
This is
by
Princess
the way.
Squishy.
That's been keeping Deidre together.
It's been been keeping me together. She has no face.
She has no face. Deidre has squished her until her face is gone.
She's not holding her shape like she was. So I'm about to order another pack of squishies.
Yeah, she a little flat.
She's a little flat, but she has been keeping me balanced.
Yeah,
enough.
We've decided to add a new segment, and this is just a nice little segment on top of tea time. It's just a nice little segment that we wanted to end because some of these episodes can be heavy. Some of them can be super funny, but we just always want to end on this note. Me and Deidre one day were just sitting and we were just talking about, actually, when we were doing the production meeting for the first quarter of 2025, we were talking about different segments that we wanted to do. And we just happened to talk about like things that keep you up at night. And so that's one of the segments that we want to do. And like when you're laying in bed or you're scrolling or you're doom scrolling and you find something and you're like, I just have to find out more about this. I need to know what this is, who this person is, all this other stuff. You know what's been keeping me up? One of the things that kept me up was mushrooms.
Okay.
You know I love mushrooms.
I know you love mushrooms.
Love mushrooms. Myceliums are the best. Right? But I think that they are actually going to control the entire world one day.
You know, there's actually a lot of people that have that thought.
Yes, I think because they are actually they're just smart.
Yeah.
They're smart, they're resilient. They also have, a lot of them have a very large underground network. So where I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Avatar was based off of a fungus, I believe, because they have networks that are underneath and they communicate with each other and it's weird.
That's really cool.
What are you saying? That's what I want to know.
I would like.
What are the mushrooms? So that is particularly what is keeping me up at night.
Yeah.
Or what are these mushrooms talking to each other about?
They're probably like, girl, let me tell you about this bitch I found across the street the other day. She'd be like, girl, what? And she'd be like, girl, I was just
her
she
top
going again.
Her top was so red.
It was
just
so red.
So wild.
Why
And
she
then
out here looking like a whore?
And then this man obviously swooped by and picked her up and did not decide to take me with her. Like, come on.
Could you imagine? Put a little microphone and like,
well, so they put microphones up to them and they actually make little noises. You can,
I'm
so
not
it's
surprised by
actually,
that.
it's very crazy.
That is really cool.
It's very crazy. So mushrooms are going to take over the world along with naked mole rats, but that is a completely different thing to talk about.
Naked mole rats.
Those things survive anything. If there was a nuclear explosion that happened right now and it killed everybody, naked mole rats would survive.
And roaches.
And roaches.
And roaches and naked mole rats.
mushrooms.
And mushrooms. They'd be around. And
Mushrooms.
those freaking, I don't even remember the name of it, but it's like.
But she flipping squishy like she a
Yeah,
fucking
girl.
acrobat. God damn.
she's talented. There's this mold that operates really cool too, but I can't remember the name of it at all. But I did think of something that kept me up one night, and that's how I ended up listening to that one song over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So I stumbled. I've heard of Yuma Semek. I've known who she was because there's this one song. It's called I think it's called Mambo, something like that. Malambo, I think it is.
Yeah.
It's a very popular song. You hear it a lot in like different. Well, really, normally like a drag clubs and drag shows and things like that.
Yeah.
You hear that song pretty often, and so that I knew of her that way. I didn't know a whole lot of information about her though.
Yeah.
And like one night I just went on this whole like thing. She had the craziest like vocal range.
Yeah.
Like insane vocal range.
I remember you telling me about her.
Yeah, she was super dope. She had they had made up these stories about her.
Really?
About her name and how like who she was as a person, which was not true at all. And it didn't like have any issues with her music, but it was just a funny random ass story that people made up, like and they just kind of ran with it, and like a kind of like a group of people knew it was real. Knew it wasn't real, and other people were like, oh my gosh, this is true. So they kept pushing that story out there, but it never really like stuck enough for it to be detrimental to her and her music and things like that.
Well,
but
because wasn't it like she learned from birds or some shit like that?
No, so they had this whole story that her name was her, so the name Yuma Semek was her actual name backwards.
Yeah.
And that she was just some housewife from like New Jersey or New York or something like that. That wasn't true.
Yeah.
Homegirl was from like Guatemala or something like that. She's from somewhere. I don't remember where specifically, but and that was just her name. Like it wasn't nothing crazy. She wasn't like this housewife that was like taking on another form. But her range was insane.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. And so I ended up downloading this song called Goomba Bomba, and it's a like a remixed version of it. It's one of my favorites. It's
Love
super dope.
that.
Super, super dope. I put it on my story like
Love
a lot.
that.
But I listened to that song at least 20 times back to back to back to back to back as soon as I found it, because what I've really found that I like a lot of is old school songs that are remixed to like current kind of styles.
Yeah, for sure.
So like they have this they have Feeling Good by Nina Simone.
Oh, yeah.
They have that, but it's like a Bass Nectar remix. And it's got this huge heavy bass line.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this song is like.
Yes.
It's got this huge like heavy bass line. It's super dope.
Ooh.
So I've been obsessed with those for like a while, but I listened to that song like a billion times.
I love
And I just
that.
thought she was just the coolest lady ever, because she was gorgeous, first of all, but also her range was insane.
Yeah.
So that's
Wicked
what
cool.
kept me up
Wicked cool.
for one night.
Well, we would love to hear about what keeps you up at night.
Yeah.
What are things that you are just obsessively doom scrolling through and needing to learn about? And I'm always doing that. So I'm sure I will find something else next week.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, do you have anything else?
I don't. Just, we're still doing the lives every Thursday. We're still having the Bitch Please live. Don't forget, Mondays are going to be Bumpin' Gums is coming out. That's going to be an interesting segment. Again, super short. And then as in February, just to kind of let you know, we are doing Adventures of Dee and Shell. So keep a lookout for those. We do have an Amazon wish list. That is another thing that I wanted to mention. It is in our social media.
It is.
Okay, cool. It's in our social medias. So you can go ahead and find it there. If you want to help and, donate and, support the cause. Support the cause, because we out here.
Yeah. Trying to do what we can.
Doing our best.
With what we got.
With what we got. But so we do have an Amazon wish list. We are going to be kind of like sharing that a little more often now, if anybody wants to help out. And just keep an eye on stuff. Social medias are still the same. Like, share, follow, subscribe, all of that same good shit. Definitely subscribe to us on Twitch. That would be super helpful, as well as YouTube, so we can actually get more of those numbers up. We would appreciate that. But yeah, I don't have anything else. Do you?
Okay, that was it.
Okay, great. Thanks, y'all.
Thank
Happy
you.
to be here.
Bye.
Bye.